Hi, people. This is a video that's going to be about how to create your calendar events for your recurring classes and inviting them with a Zoom link. This is different than the previous one. Upon further thought, we realized that using the personal meeting room ID for all the meetings, all the same meetings, was not the best idea on my part. And so, let's. Unfortunately, you'll have to redo the events, but you'll just have to do one other step before that. And so you have to delete your events, and I'll show you how to do that. If you have an event, you just click on it. So let me show you the problem. Right now, if I click on this, it shows me her meeting ID and password for this period. And this period is the same, this period is the same, this period is the same. It's also going to be the personal ID that you use for your own staff meetings, your own personal meetings. So we don't want to use that one. We want it to generate a new ID for each meeting. Not every single meeting for all your third period classes throughout the year will generate a unique one for specifically for your second period class. And so the only thing that's different from the previous instructions is that we're gonna have to change a setting on Zoom. So I'm gonna walk through the entire directions again. I'm gonna actually delete all these events. And then when you do that, you want to delete all events, not just that one event. That means all the events in the series. So I'm just doing a bunch of deleting to get rid of them. Once you've deleted your events, and if you haven't created them already, then you can start fresh with these directions that I'm providing you. Okay, so I haven't quite finished, but I'm just going to move ahead. You're going to need to go to zoom.us, and feel free at any point, obviously, to pause during this video so you can do the steps you need. And you're going to click sign in the upper right-hand corner. Don't ever type in your email address and password. You're going to sign in with Google and then use your AUSD account at that point. Don't choose your home personal account. And what we're looking for is on the left-hand side, it's already set on the meetings, is in blue. You're going to go down to settings. From there, you will click on this series of menus. You're going to click on the one that says schedule meeting. So I'm going to click on schedule meeting. It brings me down to this set of windows, and I'm going to slowly just scroll down. Hopefully this one, join before host, is off. You don't want them to join if they get early to join before you. Right now what we have is use personal ID when scheduling a meeting. We do not want that. We do not want that. In lieu of that, they're going to generate a unique ID for the meeting that only, for example, your second period kids can get into. So we're going to click that off. All right. Then we're done with that screen. We're done with that screen. You probably, just to remind you, mute students upon entry is a really good one. And now I'm going to say necessary one. You want to not allow file transfers. Who can share screen? You want to enable share screens, but you want to do it so that only a host can share screens. Okay, I think those are the most critical ones. If you don't want them right on the screen, if you're a class where the students never, well, you can click. If you won't write on the screen, you can undo this. But if you will, you can click on this, and then on the other screen, you can do it so that the other people can't write on. Hey, moving to calendar now. To start an event, you just click within the square. It'll bring up this. So we're going to click on, at this point, more options on the bottom. And then I'm going to type second period math, Mr. Lou. I'm going to click off all day. I'm going to type in the appropriate times, the start and end time, so you need your schedule handy. So these are the same steps as before. You're going to go to custom, and this is going to be a Tuesday, Thursday class. So I click Tuesday, it was already clicked. I'm going to click Thursday. I'm going to put ends on, and I'm going to click this. It'll bring up a calendar, and I'll click all the way to June 11th, boom, and then done. Now I'm going to go to video conferencing, and this is the part that will look different. You're going to click on Zoom meeting. And in this time, if you remember at the beginning of the video, it had our PMI. Now it has a unique ID as well as a unique password. And if you want to change the event color, you can, not important. As far as adding groups, once the groups are up and ready, you're going to go to your groups, your AUSD groups. And so you do that by hitting the little waffle here. Let me move my face out of here. Hitting the little waffle and scrolling down until you see groups, which is right here. And you're going to click on groups. And what you're going to do is you're going to look for, so this class was our second period math class. Within the groups menu, you're going to look for Lou second period math. And so once it loads up, well, actually, this is Miss Bukowski's class, so we're not going to see that. I'm just going to pick one. It says Bukowski, 8th period. No, let's go. Bukowski, period 4 writing. Let's say that's what I want. I'm just going to click on the left-hand side. For some reason, it doesn't work right to left. You're going to click on the left-hand side and select it like that. Just click and drag. And if it goes to this screen, no problem. You're just going to click and drag. And then you're going to press Command-C, which copies it. Go back to your calendar screen, and you're going to click on the Add Guest window, and you're going to press Command-V. And then it'll populate with this menu. It said, do you want this is the one you want? Because it has at ausdk12.org on it. You're going to click that. Yes, I want that. And then later on, when you, basically that's the end of saving this class. You're going to click Save, and it's going to ask you, would you like to send email invitations to Google Calendar guests? And you'll click Send. It'll send the invitation, but it'll automatically populate on their calendar anyway, so you don't need to worry about that. But they should accept the invitation. And then you're done with your first class, and you just have to repeat for the second class. So I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time. You can do it along with me and listen, or pause the video and start over and do your own. So again, make sure in your Zoom settings that you've set, as I go to zoom.us and go to the schedule meeting prompt, I definitely want it not to say use personal ID meeting when scheduling a meeting. This should be off. Once that is done, you're going to click. Now, here's a little part about Google Calendar. You kind of have, it's a little bit finicky, and you have to pick the right place to click. So click right above. If you have other events and there's no more space like within here, you click right above it. And let's say you want to add your third period English, Miss Bukowski. Actually, I should have gone to more options, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to go to more options now. I'm going to click off all day. I'm going to put in the schedule, 10:03. That's not the real time. I'm just making something up. I'm going to go to custom. So I'm going to click on this part that says does not repeat. I'm going to click on custom. And this is a Tuesday, Thursday class. And it, again, I'm going to put an end date as June 11th. And then when I add video conferencing, check this out this time. It's a little hard to remember, but you know, all these are going to be different than the previous meeting I just scheduled. And so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and then you would add guests. So go back to Google Groups. So if you left this as your Google Group screen, you just can press back screen once. And remember to, right now, I think they've mistakenly labeled some of these. Wait till they show up as your 2019 classes. You could also look at the join date for the group, and that should be reflective of the classes for this year should be joined in 2012. So once they're up, you're going to find the appropriate class. You're going to click and drag and select it. It went to the group. Basically, it's just going to the group, but we can always grab the title from there once it loads. And you're going to, oh wait, it didn't do it. So let me just go, easier way to probably just to click that group name. And then now I can easily, much more easily than the drag thing earlier, copy that, Command-C, and then go back to the class I'm trying to form, add the guest, Command-V, choose that, save, and I'm good to go. And then they'll be all over your calendar after that point. Okay, so I'm sorry we're doing this, but I think in the interest of security, it's important that we have this in place rather than earlier proposals. So please email me if you have any questions. I will try to get right on it and address any needs that you have. Okay, thank you very much and have a great school year.